Does anyone else feel kind of lost with life? Or is it just me? I am a 25-year-old from this small province in Canada, and since I graduated university, I've just kind of been lost, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life and what even is the point of life, you know? I feel like up to that point I had just been kind of in this state of unconsciousness. But here I am 4 years later, and I think I've got it figured out. Or at least I can confidently say that I don't feel lost anymore. In this video, I'm going to share the actionable things that I have done in my life to feel good. If you feel lost in life, I think the absolute most important thing you can do to stop feeling this way is to start meditating. I don't mean listening to guided meditations or talking about chakras or anything like that. You really don't need to get that deep into it. All I'm talking about is taking at least 10 minutes a day and unplugging from the world. Zero dopamine, zero stimulus, just give your brain a break. I have been meditating the same way almost every day for 2 years now. I set a timer on my phone and I close my eyes and just breathe. It requires absolutely nothing except you willing to take 10 minutes of your day to do something for yourself and your health. I guarantee that doing this every day over a period of a month will change your perspective on life and improve every aspect of the person you are. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There is no right thing to think about. Everyone is unique, and I personally love doing this because it just gives me 10 minutes a day to analyze my brain, my thoughts, and just really be aware of who I am and what I am doing with my life. Sitting in silence for 10 minutes is no easy thing to do, and your brain will bring up every thought and reason to convince you why you should not be sitting there in silence. Maybe you left the stove on, maybe there is yard work or homework that you should be doing. There are a million different reasons that your brain will try to tell you to get up and keep feeding it dopamine. I've been doing this for 2 years and some days I still struggle to do it. But if you really want to not feel lost, I highly recommend trying out your own journey of meditation, and I will likely be making more videos about how I meditate in the future. But meditation is only the first step I took to stop feeling lost. Meditation was the first step I took in order to start taking my health seriously. It allowed me to realize how I feel after eating junk food compared to how I feel after eating healthy foods. How I feel when I watch TikTok for hours versus how I feel when I'm outside hiking or playing sports with friends. Meditation is just a step that accelerates the entire process of not feeling lost in life, because it helps you be more aware of your current problems both physically and mentally. Probably the most important step to not feeling lost in your 20s is to bring your undivided attention to your health. If you don't know what to do with your time, then focus 100% of your scattered thoughts into your physical and mental health. I was in the first year of my postgraduate degree feeling more lost in life than ever before. But within 2 months, I turned one of the lowest times of my life to one of the highest times of my life. And that was because I just had this unreal morning routine. I started running every day at 7 a.m. Then I would go to a beach nearby my house to meditate, and then I would start my day. This got me so excited to wake up every day. I'm still trying to get a morning routine right now that works for me as good as this one made me feel. It completely changed my perspective on how valuable it is to have a habit that makes your body feel good. Nothing else in the world mattered. It didn't matter that I had no idea what I was doing with my life because I felt good physically and mentally. The most important part is that after a couple of months of building these habits and routines, I started to find clarity in my thoughts of what I would do with my life. I started to have this idea of what my ideal day would look like because I would want to incorporate the habits and routines that I had been building. If I didn't have to worry about money to survive, what would I do with my time? What are the literal things that I would be doing with my day? I figured out the answers to these questions, and then I started to make a long-term plan of how I could make them into a reality. But before I even started asking questions like this, I first just stopped thinking altogether and focused on my health by building new habits. Building new habits is essential to not feeling lost in life, but it's not easy. I have definitely struggled to build new habits, and I still do now today. But I have 2 universal tips that I use whenever I'm trying to build any kind of new habit. Number 1 is finding ways to enjoy the habit. I don't enjoy running, but there was this beautiful little path with a river nearby where I lived, and so that was a huge part of what motivated me to stay disciplined running. It made the run enjoyable for me, which made doing the habit a lot more consistent for me. The second tip that really helped me stay consistent with new habits is always being proud and aware of the smallest bits of progress that I am making. By no means did I wake up one day and just start running at 7 a.m. every single day. I started this habit by doing it one single time. Then about a week later, I woke up at 7 a.m. and I did it again. The next week I told myself I'm going to do this 2 days in a row, and then I did. I eventually made it to 4 days in a row, but even after I made it to 4 days in a row, there were weeks where I would still only get out maybe 2 times in a week, and I would feel a bit disappointed in my progress. But then one day I decided to look at my progress relative to the last year or even 5 years ago, rather than like a week by week basis. I realized that I was running infinitely more times than I was just last year. I was feeling good about my days and my mindset to keep improving every single day. I realized that consistency is not just about doing something every single day right from day one. Consistency is more about continuing to increase the frequency that you do something over your lifetime until it becomes a part of who you are. As long as you never give up thinking about an idea and how you can implement it into your life, you will eventually become consistent at that activity/idea. Running eventually became a part of my life that I not only wanted, I needed it. Whenever I went to my cottage or slept at places that were not my own home, I always considered how and where I would go running in the morning. It became a part of who I was until I moved to Winnipeg, where running outside in the winter is just kind of impossible, and running on a treadmill in the gym really started to hurt my knees. The important thing I realized about building this habit is that I need some sort of physical activity in my daily life, and so today I no longer run. I tried lifting weights in the gym for a bit, and that was good, but then I decided to get a physically demanding job where I get paid to be active, and I also started bouldering 2 to 3 times a week. But after making this video, I think I might just start running again, because I'm just like reminiscing of how good I really felt at that time in my life. And I think that running every day right now could really help me, so I think I'm going to start building that habit again. And on that note, that brings us to the last chapter of this video. Never stop adapting. When you are feeling lost in life, that means you should probably change something about your life. Whether that be building a new habit, getting a new hobby, or moving to a new place, it does not matter. If you're feeling lost in your life, then just change something. It can literally be anything, and whenever you make that change, whether you stick to it or not, you'll be one step closer to finding yourself. I am probably the least efficient person when it comes to sticking to a new habit. I tend to break all of the recommended rules when it comes to building habits, but it doesn't really matter, because I excel at the hardest part, which is taking the first step to make a change. I'm never afraid to fail, and I try not to be a perfectionist. I just dive in as soon as I want to make a change in my life, and I just send it. I see what works best for me, and I continue to do the things that make me feel good and do less of the things that make me feel bad. Sometimes things will work until they don't, sort of how I just stopped running when I moved to Winnipeg. But when you make these changes in your life, you will realize what you were taking for granted before that change, or you will see how you've been missing out on something this whole time. Change can be scary, but with change comes new knowledge that will help you grow as a person until you find out who you want to be.
The boy's killing it. Absolutely killing it. Some nice hair there. It's beautiful. That's been in the VOD too.
Navigating life is no simple task, and I think that some people are just better at masking their struggles. Here on this channel, I'm going to be sharing my own experience as I navigate through life. My long-term plan is to start my own environmental company where I can make videos about my own research on no one else's agenda except my own. An agenda that's only goal is to discover how the earth functions so that I can help create policies and technologies that benefit the everyday person. In order to accomplish this goal, I have a very long way to go, and I'm still working on the first step, which is mastering my health while starting my first business. Whether I succeed or fail, I will be documenting my journey and the things I learn along the way so that others can learn from my mistakes and success. If you want to stick along for the journey, consider hitting that subscribe button, and maybe I'll see you in the next video. Peace!